Hey guys, so I wanted to make a quick video for y'all on just kind of my step-by-step process on how I actually learned guitar. And you can actually use this process to learn all the ins and outs of guitar with just about 10 or 15 minutes a day. It's a really great technique, and I've seen a lot of guitar teachers use it, but a lot of students or people that may not have an actual physical guitar teacher, they're just kind of teaching themselves, don't know this process. So I wanted to kind of open it up for you guys and show you what I use and what I learned, how I actually learned myself. So the first step in this process is actually just spending about 10 to 15 minutes a day learning some really simple chords. You can do this the first day you buy your guitar. Just spend about maybe 10 minutes and just learn one or two simple chords a day. Now what you can do is, like the first day, for example, you can learn a really easy chord like E minor or A, or something like that. And then you just spend your 10 or 15 minutes that you have to allocate that day on those chords, that chord, whichever chord it might be. I would recommend maybe just one or two. Like I said, start small. So let's just say first day you spend, 15 minutes working on E minor. Great, you got E minor down perfect. Day two, you spend 10 minutes working on A. Good, you got A down perfect. Day three, you spend so on and so forth. You just add a chord every day. And eventually what you're going to do is you're going to build up a repertoire of chords that are going to be great baseline for when you start actually learning songs. So after a couple of weeks, you're actually going to dive into step number 2. What you're going to do is you're going to start learning songs on Ultimate Guitar with guitar tabs, or on YouTube. Some great YouTube teachers I would recommend would be Marty Schwartz. He's great and he's been around forever, so he's got a lot of videos. Guitar Goddess is really cool. She does some really good stuff and she lays it out super simple. I've also heard the Groovy Guitar Dude is pretty great as well. That's just what I've heard. I don't know. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna start learning some songs, just some basic songs. Use those chords that you learned in your first couple of weeks of playing guitar. Just like I said, just about 10 or 15 minutes a day. Same thing, you're gonna use some of these YouTube videos, some of these guitar tabs, some of these guitar chords to just spend about 10 or 15 minutes learning those songs. If you look at some of these videos, you'll notice, in my videos in particular, I know Guitar Goddess and Marty Schwartz are the same way, a lot of times their videos are no more than about 5 minutes long because they just run through the basics, which is great. That's what you want. You want some videos that run through the basics, nothing too crazy complicated or anything like that. Just work on getting the key chords down. That's step 2, is getting the key chords of some songs down so you can kind of build up some stuff so you can feel like you can actually play something. You feel a reward. So step 3 of this process, and the final step, is actually to go ahead and start working on learning songs by ear. Now I recommend learning this skill maybe like a month to 2 months, maybe 3 months at the latest after you start playing guitar. This is a really important skill to have, and I have a whole video talking about that. I'll link it in the description below. But it's a great skill to have, and I learned it after about 3 or 4 years of playing guitar. I started learning it. I actually didn't get it down until maybe like 5 or 6 years after playing guitar. But it changes the way you play. Even if you just get into the very basics of learning songs by ear, it can totally revolutionize, and it makes the whole process of learning guitar so much more fun. Because then you can just like pop on the radio or pop on iTunes or whatever and just say, oh, you know what, this song's cool, I want to learn that today. So learning songs by ear is great, and a really good way to do it is just start working on listening to your chords so you know what to hear, and playing along with songs so you kind of get familiar with what sounds like what. And also there's a lot of good techniques for learning songs by ears just on YouTube videos. Like I said, I have one that explains the technique that I use, but I think Marty Schwartz has one, I think Guitar Goddess has one, as well as a whole bunch of other YouTube teachers as well. So these are my 3 simple steps to getting good at guitar and learning guitar. Like I said, everybody's gonna vary. People are gonna learn at different paces and stuff like that. So I mean, yeah, I'm kind of recommending like after a couple weeks you move to step 2, after a couple months you move to step 3. But you kind of do it at your own pace. You can feel it out. Once you kind of get the gist of it, that's good. But what I would recommend is not moving too quickly. Just take it at your own pace. Even if you only learn one small thing a day, every little bit of progress is going to count. So I just want to wrap up this lesson by saying If you haven't heard of Jamorama.com, they're a really cool website, and the reason I actually really like these guys is because they play into, like, the way that they teach actually plays into these 3 steps, which, like I said, these are the 3 steps that I actually use to learn how to play. I never took a formal guitar lesson in my life. I just taught myself how to play, and it took a long time. The cool thing about Jamorama is that they use that same kind of formula, that learn one simple thing a day, and they put it all laid out for you so you know exactly, this day this is a good place to start, this day this is a good place to start, this day this is a good place to start. And it falls into that, maybe spend about 10 minutes a day learning something new, learning one new thing. You don't have to do these like long 30-minute, hour lessons. You just learn one simple thing with about 10 minutes a day, and then you move on to the next thing tomorrow. That's why I really like Jamorama. The other awesome thing about Jamorama.com is the price. I charge about $120 a month for private guitar lessons. That's for 4 one-hour-long guitar lessons, 1 a week. That's actually way below average. Most people charge about double that for about half the time. So Jamorama.com is only about $13 a month. So if you're teaching yourself guitar and you kind of are like stuck and you want kind of a guideline on, like, this is what I should be working on this day, this is what I should be working on this day, so on and so forth, Jamorama.com is an awesome, cheap alternative. Thanks so much for checking out my video, guys. Like I said, I'm going to link Jamorama.com in the link in the description below. It's a great website, a lot of good benefits to it, pretty cheap. It's a great way to teach yourself guitar on a budget. Thanks so much for checking out this video. If you have any questions about my process, or if you have any questions about Jamorama.com or anything like that, hit me up in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys, and I'll see y'all very soon. Thank you.